If an object is dropped from a high cliff or a tall building, then the distance it has fallen after t seconds is given by this function, d of t equals 16t squared. We want to find its average speed, or average rate of change, over these intervals. So starting here with between 1 second and 5 seconds, our average rate of change, we're going to have d of 5 minus d of 1 over 5 minus 1. So that is 16 times 5 squared minus 16 times 1 squared over 5 minus 1, which is 4. And that is 16 times 25 minus 16 over 4. And so we can do this however we want. I'm going to take the 4 and apply it to both of these 16s. So we get 4 times 25 minus 4, and that gives us 96. And we should make sure we have our units on this. So we have our numerator, our distance. And it doesn't actually tell us what units that is, but distance, okay, over, and then down here is, these are t values, which was time, and that's time in seconds, so time in seconds. So that's how we get that this is a speed. For part B, we want to do it between t equals a and t equals a plus h. So we don't have numbers here, we just have these little expressions with variables a and a plus h. So, but our formula is the same. So we'll do d of a plus h minus d of a over a plus h minus a. So we can plug in our a plus h. We have 16 times a plus h squared minus d of a is 16a squared over, and then down here we have a minus a, and those cancel. And so we just have h. So now in our numerator, we're going to multiply this out. The a plus h squared, let me do that over here. A plus h squared is a plus h times a plus h. So we do our little distribution. So a times a is a squared, and then a times h is ah, and h times a is another ah, and then h times h is h squared. And then these two, of course, will combine to be 2ah. So this is 16 times a squared plus 2ah plus h squared, and then minus the 16a squared all over h. And this 16 we can distribute into these parentheses. Okay, we want to expand everything so that we can combine some like terms. So we get 16a squared, and then 16 times 2ah is 32ah, and then plus 16h squared minus the 16a squared all over h. And now we see that 16a squared also cancels. So we are left with 32ah plus 16h squared over h. And we can actually do a little bit more of simplification here. The numerator, both these terms have an h in them. And that means we could factor it out and cancel it with this h. So if we factor the h out, we have 32a plus 16h. Divide that by h, and now we can cancel those. And we have to be very careful, all right, in that when we cancel the h here, okay, we're left with 32a plus 16h. However, that canceling only occurs if h is not equal to 0, because you can't divide by 0, right? You can't cancel 0 over 0. That doesn't make any sense. And so this is our simplified expression if h is not equal